is very, very, very good. For starters, it is cheap. So nutrition is at high level and freely. You have to be cautious. While they are eating, there are some diseases at risk. So when you do that, make sure your goats have vaccines, your goats spray a lot. Don't expect a bed of roses when you start goat farming. It is not the goats. Goats is not a definition of the business, but what accompanies the goats.
Good evening and welcome to a brand new episode of NTV Seeds of Gold. I'm your host Sheila Nabafo, and as always we are proudly brought to you by Bukola Chemical Industries Limited and Youth Platform Africa YPA for the expert opinion. Tonight we are taking a closer look at beekeeping, a venture many people recognize but only a few truly understand. Yes, honey is the headline product, but the hive is a whole economy in motion. So stay with me as we unpack how the hive goes far beyond the honey jar into business models, biodiversity, and everyday livelihoods. Don't go away. Honey is the most popular product of beekeeping. We know the taste, we know the health benefits, and demand is consistently strong. Across the country, thousands of farmers have found their entry point into beekeeping through honey production, probably because it's a very marketable, medicinal, and highly demanded locally and internationally.
When we are young, we found that we are just beekeepers. In this 1 acre here, you can put there around 500 beehives. It doesn't need a big land. And the best thing on bees is, in fact, we term it to be a lazy man's work. Once you put there your colonies and they colonize, you only go for inspection, you only go for just slashing, just visiting them. Nothing else you put in, apart from them giving you what you want.
For the bee products that I produce is high because I get pure honey. That's number one. I get beeswax. Number two, then I also make honey wine. Apart from honey wine, I'm also making propolis tincture. And all these are giving me good money in a year because my production alone from honey, I get like 2 tons to 3 tons in a year. And when I add the value, that comes to about 60 to 70 million in 1 year. So that means that beekeeping is also one of the best ways that I also encourage other farmers to join us, to join me, so that we at least try to reduce the level of poverty in us through beekeeping.
I started these bees essentially on a learning basis, but we're aware that this is income where my daily input is lessened. With the experience of poultry farming, where every day you must put in money, whether you like it, whether you have it, I was looking at lesser taxing options, and bees are one of them. While I was looking at our health first, I also realized by harvesting more honey, we shall also assist those that have the interest like we have. So about 5 years ago, we began with our 5 beehives. The good bit of it is that the honey we harvested was reasonable enough compared to the investment costs. And you can easily harvest twice a year. We have now graduated to 20 beehives, and I know with the 20 beehives we shall get enough honey for us, for ourselves, and for our immediate customers who will want the quality honey we talk of.
So this is the process of the honey. So honey starts from here. This one shows that this honey is in the process of sealing. So after here, then the bee starts sealing. Then when it is sealed like this, it will even continue almost all over this part. And this kind of honey is only got where there's a queen, where the queen doesn't stay. Because if queen was there, we would be having broods on part of the honey or of the combs. So this is sealed comb honey, but this is not yet sealed, and this is still have a high level of water content. But this is supposed to be like this, the sealed comb. Yeah. So this honey is still young, but after like 2 months, we'll have sealed comb honey. Yeah. So this is it. You see? I think we have to stop here. Yeah. First of all, we process our honey, then get pure natural honey. Then after the honey, wax. I don't know. After the honey, we mix honey wine. This is the honey wine. Then after the honey wine, we mix beeswax. And that is the product we get from the honey, which we process with the combs. This is our honey we get with the combs, and this the one we have just processed now. We are harvested now, and it's sealed comb honey. So after here we process and get this. Then after that we get honey wine. And after the wine we make wax. Wax comes from the combs that we always get from our wine. And this is now almost 100% processed. Apart from that, we use this as now the raw material. And this one can be used for making the candle, can be used for baiting the beehive for those who are beekeepers, can also be used for making, used in the industry, like for making cough syrup. Apart from cough syrup, there are other things that comes, even shoe polish, come from here. So it's now material that is used. Then apart from that, we also make propolis tincture. Propolis tincture is in bees. They use one for mending the broken parts, if it is still in a good form. Then apart from the broken parts, they use it for disinfecting their unit. But when we process, because we mix this with ethanol, when we process, ethanol helps us to dissolve. When it dissolves in ethanol, that's why it's dark like this. It turns to be a very good antibiotics, which you use for treating both internal wounds and even external wounds.
When we visited Ibanda a couple of years ago, we met Simon, a young farmer whose apiary journey began with 2 hives. And today, he supplies honey across 30 districts and beyond Uganda's borders. He had truly found the gold in his venture. When we met him 5 years ago, Simon was just 28 years old and very enterprising. He was one of those youth that you meet and you know for sure they had a bright future. It is an honor to meet you again, Simon. You know your story, it's one of a kind, and I would like you to take us briefly through through the journey.
I am a beekeeper with 197 beehives colonized, and these hives are in 3 farms. And the reason why we make them in 3 farms is that basing on the basics for beekeeping, we always focus so much on the productivity, and productivity is geared towards the effectiveness on how beehives are colonized. Because until the hives are colonized, you cannot count yourself to be having beehives. So we have different apiaries in different 3 places, and this is one of them. And here we are having 94 beehives. Now out of the 94, we have 73 with bees here. And it helps us at least to know how much we should harvest in 2 seasons that we are having here in Western Uganda. As you can see, we rear bees in this format. You must make your stands the way you can see, and the stand must be at the level at the 2 feet from the ground, and this makes easy for a farmer to easily access hive for inspection, and even in terms of harvesting, it is a little bit. It helps so much to know how you can access your hive, check inside, know what is happening, and again close. For the purposes of this farm, we make it clean. As you can see, we remove much of the dust, we remove weeds, and this is entirely for purposes of making it clear for tracing the pests, and also, for example, the black ants here, you can easily identify them and then control them. The red ants and other things, so it is easy for me
and the other my colleagues who help us to work here in a farm to make sure that at least you can control pests, and the pests affect so much the productivity because they can enter into a hive, and when they enter into a hive, then they will cause bees abscond, and when they abscond, then you are losing business.
Simon's story opened our eyes to something else. The beehive is only the starting point. The more he learned, the more he discovered multiple income streams from the same bees. Take beeswax, for example. You can hear the pride in Simon's voice as he explains this on-demand product that not many give a second thought.
Tell us about the markets for the various products that you have.
We currently have markets that are ranging between 3. We are having products, BI products, that is honey, and honey is also in 2 formats. We have honey which is in combs, we sell it in combs, the way we extract it from hives. Also have the honey that we filter. We also have beeswax as another product, which of course the other honey that we filter, we process it. Then the residues, we process them also, and they form beeswax. Then we also have another product which we call propolis. It is the black gum from the beehives. Also we process it and sell it into either capsules, or we sell it into tincture form. Then we also have another line of products which we manufacture inputs. For example, like the beehives, these protective layers. We have smokers. We have buckets, like the buckets we use for harvesting. That's another line of products. We also have another line where we sell the seedlings. This is done strictly to support the feeding of the bees, because these days people have interfered so much with the environment, and of course it poses a case to worry in the future on how the bees will survive. Because sometime back people used it to neglect bushes, and then the bees used to take that chance and get something to eat. But now, due to cases of land degradations and of course clearing of the bushes, and people making farms, it has made the world bare. And now for us in beekeeping, we are worried of what will happen. So we support people with seedlings of eucalyptus, seedlings of avocado, for example, has avocado, mangoes, eucalyptus trees like these. We also support them with the coffee seedlings, and these at certain time they flower. When they flower, then they produce food for bees. Of course, the bees will suck in the nectar and others, and they will help us to raise the amount of honeys that we shall harvest from the hives.
But farmers like Simon realize that wax sells, and it sells really well. Let me paint a financial picture for you. Wax is used in candle production, cosmetics, and body balms, shoe polish, wood treatment. I mean, even the Holy Spirit recognizes it. There is more. Wax can be harvested even when honey production is low. This means income remains steady, so while many people only see honey, there is wax steadily keeping a farmer's wallet warm. And then there is bee venom. Yes, you heard me right. Venom. When we visited YPA's Obed, famously known for his goat farming, we discovered that he also keeps bees solely for venom extraction. What for, you ask? Well, turns out that bee venom is used in medicinal research, anti-inflammatory products, arthritis pain management, and high-value pharmaceutical products. And we learned that a gram of venom can fetch prices that rival high-end export commodities. For many, this was the first time realizing that bee venom can be commercially harvested safely and ethically. I mean, as I said, the hive is never just a honey jar.
So we would like to know, why would you get bees and then ignore the honey?
Bees carry a number of products, and they are 6 in total. We have the bee venom. I'm giving you these details in their order. So we have the bee venom, which is the most expensive. Not the most expensive, but the most profitable. Then we have the pollen grain, which is also very equally profitable and accessible at least every month. Then we have the royal jelly. Royal jelly is the food for the queen. You get. Then we have the propolis.
Yeah.
Propolis, you know, when you look at a hive, we create it and join it. So when we join this hive, probably somewhere there is some space where light passes.
Yeah.
And bees don't accept that. They want a dark room. This dark room is good for the eggs to mature into bees. Now, and the queen also does not lay a good number of eggs if there is no darkness. So what they use to stick or to close the space is what we call propolis. Then there is wax, beeswax, the known beeswax. And lastly, honey. So you see where honey is?
Right at the bottom.
Bee venom is at the top. And bee venom is the poison. Obusagwa obuli mu njuchi anti embuzi. Obusagwa obuli mu njuchi. So when it stings you, you swell.
Yeah.
What makes you swell is not the sting. What makes you swell is the power, the venom that has poured in you. So when you collect that venom and make a kilogram, you're a rich lady. Actually, you just need like, because each hive gives you need like 1,000 hives to collect your 80 million per month.
How are you doing so far?
Wabiao. Yes, so when you get one hive, you can collect a gram per month.
Yeah.
And when you retail sell that venom, each gram goes for 80,000. 80. And if you have 1 kilogram, which is 1,000 grams, you have 80 million. So when you're wholesaling it, it is around 60 million per month. So you can do the math well, since I have 15,000. So you can know how
You're giving
much.
me ideas. I bet you're giving me ideas.
And these pharmaceutical companies, those people know how rich bee venom is. And they would kill you to get a gram
of the bee venom.
Of the bee venom. And it's very scarce. It's actually a few people. Most people are just hearing of bee venom. But in China, in those different countries where cancer is not a problem, they use a lot of bee venom. So bee venom is worth it. So what we do, we get a venom extractor.
Yeah.
You put on your gear. I can't go in because I'm not putting on, but when you have the gear, you go through and it vibrates. So when this extractor vibrates, the bees get anger.
Of course.
So when they get anger, they charge. So when they charge, they come and hit the venom extractor. Why did we start venom is because we understood that we need money every day.
Yeah.
But honey can only come maximum. The shortest time there is 3 months. After 3 months. And that is the shortest. Sometimes it goes up to 6.
Yeah.
And there's no honey. So how will I survive? And in one hive, maximum you can get 15, 20 kilograms. And each kilogram is at 20, that is 300. So it means each month I've been getting
300,000.
About 50.
Now, so we need money to constantly run the firm. We need money to constantly line our pockets.
Exactly.
So we're going to ignore the least profitable of the items and go for the most profitable.
Exactly.
Beyond honey, wax and venom, bees are also the workforce behind agriculture. Now, here's a fun fact. A single hive can cover up to 28 square kilometers of crop pollination. That means better fruit size, higher yields, improved seed quality, hence stronger food security, which might explain why some farmers now rent out hives to orchards and gardens. Yes, renting bees as pollination service providers. That, ladies and gentlemen, is income without losing the bees or the honey. You get it?
We have a lot of maize, you can see.
Yes.
And maize is the second richest pollen grain plant after sunflower. So how do we get money from the flowers of the pollen? Because when we cut the maize after the right time, we get the the plants, the leaves, and feed our goats.
Yeah.
Get the corn, feed the people, and steal the goats. But how do we utilize those flowers? We have coriander here. You can see now this coriander has flowers 365 days a year.
Yeah.
So it means every single day I have flowers. How do I benefit from those flowers? And that is why we put here bees, so that they can work as a factory to turn those flowers into gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so lucky that we are on Seeds of Gold.
You're using my language. You are using. I'm on the right farm.
So when we do pollen grain and bee venom, I'm guaranteed that each hive will give me at least 300,000 per month.
Yeah.
Okay, 200. I'm still not bad.
You're not bad at all.
Exactly. So instead of doing bees for honey, you'd rather do bees for pollen grain, because
And venom.
all the other 4 products, royal jelly, propolis, wax, and honey, all come when you harvest honey.
Yeah.
Because you can't get a royal jelly unless you have the wax, because royal jelly is within the wax. You can't get the honey unless you have the wax. You can't get the wax unless you have the wax. And you can't get the propolis unless you have removed the wax.
That's true.
So all those, I don't care. I so much concentrate on these 2 that I can get without actually harming the
bee.
house of the bees.
Yes.
Because the more times you open that hive, the more chances for you to lose those bees. They are going to run.
True.
They are like, every time we get invasion here, Sheila here is not very friendly. Because these bees don't make honey for us.
True.
They make honey for the future. So you come and take their future every time you take the honey.
So they would rather migrate.
Exactly, and find the future, because they say, I need to find the seeds of gold elsewhere. Have you seen the hind leg of the bee? The hind leg.
I have never bothered.
You have never mothered. There is that yellowish something that is like a bag.
Yeah.
That yellowish. Amurinyankore bagete ntinda. Ntinda. So that bee is carrying pollen grain. When it was doing the cross-pollination, now we're going to P4, cross-pollination. When we're doing the pollination of plants, these bees also take what we call emusolo. They live with those plants. We can't pollinate you for free.
Pollinating you. We gotta take something.
Exactly. We have to go with something. So I also wait for them here. They carry them solo.
You also take them.
VAT. I take VAT.
And pay.
I take VAT and pay, and that is how we survive.
It's about time for that commercial break, but we'll be back. Don't worry, there's so much more to learn. I mean, venom. Did you know we could extract those from the bees and earn so much? You want to know? Then don't go away. Just keep scanning the QR code on your TV and join the conversation. You can tell us what you would like us to look at next, what farm to visit. I mean, we are yours to command, and we're here to serve. So stick around. We'll be back with so much more on beekeeping. So are you still wondering why it would be a very good idea to venture into apiary? Let me help you with that. It is farming that does not require acres, does not require constant supervision, and fits beautifully into mixed farming systems. Quick one though, ever wondered about the possibility of nationwide apiculture cooperatives? Think of it this way. Just as coffee growers pool their harvest to meet export quality and negotiate better prices, beekeepers too can come together to scale their production and market premium honey. With mobile apiaries, hives can be moved in rhythm with flowering seasons, ensuring higher yields and richer nectar profiles. You know, that rent a hive thing we mentioned earlier? It would work, right?
When we come together as a group, we lessen the burden.
Yeah.
I just told you that bees, small as they are, they can carry a queen bee that is 10 times heavier than each of them.
Yeah.
Altogether. So Sheila here has money, but me, I am mfunampola. and maybe Rose is also mfunampola. Tito has some money. So what do? We come together, pull 1 million. I just told you that each hive with
1.5.
bees is 1.5 altogether.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the 1.5, you can get a group. Each month you pull together. Maybe you're 10 people and each person is bringing maybe 150.
Yeah.
So every month you're going to have a hive, and this is going to be paying you back 100,000 per month. You get my point?
I hear you.
So you can do this with us as YPA, or you can go collect your people and go in Chanamkaka Masaka and do that. There's no crime.
Yeah.
And actually, this is shortening the period at which we are going to liberate ourselves financially.
True.
So people are afraid of doing things together, yet they are not afraid to lose money alone. What nonsense is that? Really, you're afraid to make money together, and you're not afraid to lose money alone. People say that when you put in the groups, you lose money. Now I'm like, let's be honest, Sheila. How much money? Don't give me the figure. How much money have you earned ever since you were born? Quantify. Let's assume 100 million. Out of the 100 million, how much have you lost to conmen? It's maybe 10 million. Question, where is the 90? Do you have it? Exactly, that is what is happening to everyone. You have lost 5 million and you remember that, but where is the 95 that you don't remember?
I don't remember.
You're the best thief. So people don't think about the money they have stolen from themselves, because the torch only lights ahead. It doesn't light back. But put your torch now to you. Yes, conmen take people and they actually bring setbacks so much.
Yeah.
But we are the best conmen for our own future. We steal everything from our future.
We self-sabotage.
Exactly. We sabotage every plan we have. So now I'm suggesting that let's come together. Rather, instead of running away from being a group, yet you are a mfunampola, find a way of safeguarding your money in the group, because that is where it will work. You need 10 months to collect. If you're earning, if you can save 150, you need 10 months to get 1.5 altogether.
Yeah.
But if you are in a group of 10 and everyone is earning 150, you need one month. And all the 10 months is profitable. So by the 10 months, you'll have another extra million. So that is the logic. Are you together? So it is just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Now, when we want to become rich, we have to learn this majestic principle. And this majestic principle is called using other people's time and money. When we talk about this principle, people think that we are only talking about employees. No. Actually, that is the least you can think about. That is the last of all.
Yeah.
But when you come together, you're using each other's money. Because I told you, 1 month like this, we are going to have 1.5 and you have your hive. Are together? So you're already starting to utilize the fact that you have present money value.
Yeah.
It is a waste of time.
I mean, we already have women's groups and youth-led enterprises taking a similar path, producing branded honey, crafting beeswax cosmetics, and even building agrotourism experiences around their hives. We just ascertained that beekeeping is a growing industry, full of possibilities. We are talking business, ecology, climate resilience, youth employment, women's economic participation, and household level income growth. It is simply too good to pass. So maybe we could give it a thought, yeah?
People used to think that beekeeping is only for women and beekeeping is for poor people and for old people. But I want to say today that it is a big no. Beekeeping is for all categories. That's why I wanted to disapprove by doing the best to support women, that women can perform best in beekeeping.
You do coordinate with other beekeeping farms or beekeepers around the country?
Yes, of course, basing on our targets and our market determined what we should do. In most cases, for us when we were starting, we used to think that we are going to have our hives, then harvest honey, sell it and stop it. But later we realized that there are people who also needed the services that we could do, the people who needed the products that we had. We are having people whom we have trained, supported with the right inputs, and these inputs range from beehives, smokers, buckets for harvesting, protective wear and other things that we are sure of making and supplying to the right persons. Then we give them the right use in terms of how they should use them. Then after they have used them, we buy whatever they harvest, and that's what we process, package and sell, in addition to what we harvest in our own apiaries.
Okay, so would you say that the people you've been training, that's how you're able to coordinate in all these 16 districts?
Yes, because actually our coordination ranges on is a market driven.
Yeah.
For us, after we have explored more markets basing on the qualities and the quantities of the honey we used to give people have liked what we give them. And of course they approached us, and in format of approaching us, of course we are forced now to work with them. We had no shortcut.
The best just for you. So we're going to go to the expert opinion, take a short break from the bees, go to YPA and get our feel of knowledge from Obed. Don't go away.
Today I want to talk about our beautiful designs for the feedlots. You see, it is not on the floor, there is space. But this is an original design. You will not find it anywhere. We did not copy. We also invented. But why did we do this? We were looking at how do we stop goats from putting their legs or they are making it dirty. How do we stop this? Here, only the head can pass. If you look at that goat, it is only the head that can pass, because inside here we can put maize bran, we can put salt, for example, these ones they have been feeding. They can only put the head. It is entering, you see? It cannot put the legs inside. So it passes, the head passes here, it enjoys whatever is inside without having to go through trouble, and it enjoys its salt or maize bran, whatever we choose to put here. But you see this style, we must use something very strong here. Then also we must use, you see this is a hard wood, hard and strong wood, so it can carry this weight comfortably. This was a drum, the usual drum, and now its design has been changed and the shape has been changed just to enable us. You see, this one is now enjoying. You can see it is enjoying, and it is only the head that has passed through. Even another one is there, so it is as easy as that. I also want to talk about this one here. If you look at this, you look at this feedlot, these guys have lined up. Everyone has a box. So why do we put something that looks like a box? We put something like looks like a box because we don't want them to keep fighting. So when you don't put boxes, for example here, it can easily fight for space. But if there is a wood separating one goat from another, then there is freedom. So each goat can enjoy, and this saves you. Why do we put a shelter? We don't want them to stop eating because it is raining. Also, sometimes it is too hot, so we don't want the direct sunshine to hit them while they are eating. Remember, they are eating from one place. It is not like when they are on free range because they keep moving, so sunshine is not too much. But here they are in one place, they are eating in one spot. So if sunshine hits them directly, it might cause them to faint, it might cause them uncomfortability. So we put them under shelter so that they can enjoy their space. If it wants sunshine, it can come and enjoy this free space. So here they can eat comfortably for as long as they wish, but usually they don't eat more than half a kilogram. Also, we have here what we call the water trough. Water trough, simple as it is, we don't use a lot of technology. We just use the same drum, only that here we changed the style and we put a ball valve. Why do we put a ball valve? These two guys are connected. So if this ball valve is lifted up, water does not flow. If it goes down, water flows, and so it is automatic. It means I will never lack water in this place unless the source is dry, or if there is fault in the system, which is going to take a lot of time. Remember, why do I put it down here? Goats are very fearful of water. They don't like to step in water. They don't like to do anything. So they cannot step here. They cannot play around. They will just come and drink and go. Otherwise, if they were playful with water, like the same thing they do with food or salt, we would now put them up and put some hazards. But here water, it fears water. That is why it is in empty space, and we have put this system so that we can be sure there will always be water. And it is as simple as eating matoke. Lastly, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this anthill. So, in South Africa, you know, YPA, we have done a lot of research. That is why we are the leading goat farmers in East Africa. In South Africa, there is a farm I went to and they were using sand. They had dug a trench. And this trench, they had filled this trench with water, rather with sand. So goats would go through this sand and while going out and while coming back. Then I was like, what is the essence of doing this? They said they were doing what we call 6-pack and doing the muscle. Have you seen those strips, the lines in the thigh of the goat? Or have you seen this kafumito? You usually say mpa kafumito, but you don't know what a kafumito means. A kafumito means the most delicious part of the goat. So if you come at Mbuzi Choma next time, ask for a kafumito. It is called the what? A kafumito. This is the only part of the goat that I eat. But that is because I know what really it means. It is made of calcium. It has a lot of calcium. It has 0 fat, and it has muscle. So it is more like a bony crunchy meat. It is very delicious. So you cannot understand until you taste it. Now, me who eats a kafumito, I had to prepare my goats to grow the kafumito very huge. So the moment it goes up like this, then it comes back, then it goes up, it is doing a kafumito. So don't think this guy has been left here by default. No. Actually, sometimes we are forced to put it. If it is not there, we might get our maram, compact it, and create a heap so they can come, go up, and go down. Go up, and go down. So, down and up, I don't know which one is down, this side or this side, whatever it is. But if it goes up and it comes down, it grows the muscle, and you'll find it very stiff. So, you can use wood, you can use sand, like the ones I told you in South Africa. You can use this. Whatever it is, they should be able to jump up and down.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode, and it has been quite the roller coaster of knowledge. But hey, it's been fun. It's been great. See you again next week. Same time, same place. Do not forget to keep scanning the QR code on your TV. Keep those comments coming in. Hashtag NTV Seeds of Gold. But do not go away, because you have got to get your fill of updates from the true source. You know what I mean? Well, stick around and enjoy the NTV Weekend Edition.